Hey Jude, how's it going?
How you doing?
Doing really well. How are you?
I'm fine. Chilling right
Awesome, awesome. Well, you've been part of the Pocket Suite community since like July of 2020, so you've been around the block. I know it's probably new to you to be on the other side of the camera, so
now.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll be gentle. We'll be gentle. You're getting lots of shout outs. So let's kick it off by just finding out how did you become up, like, what was your first experience with photography? Like, how did you get it, go down that lane?
All right. So how I got down this lane? My cousin, my big cousin, he basically was doing this for a minute, and then I was just like, I just decided to pick up the camera and start shooting, and then come to find out, I was pretty good at it at a young age. So I was like, let me just continue, and then it's been good so far.
Wow. So you just had a natural talent and you just rode with it. And then how did you get into business? Did you like start off shooting friends and family or did you start
Yep.
getting called right away?
It started off with family. Started off with family. I think I was at like a baby shower or something like that. I just brought my camera along. I'm just taking pictures, and then somebody at the party was like, "Hey, I'll pay you $50 to $100. Come to take pictures at my own baby shower." I was like, "Okay,
What?
I'm not making no money from it at the time, so I'll go make that little quick little money." And then when I came, I was like, "Oh, I actually like this."
Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome. Look at that. You went to a family baby shower and you got your first client.
Yes, sir.
Now we know Miami's like next level, right? Like fashion, models, like the scene is like on point, okay? So, like what is it like to do photography in Miami? Is it mostly kind of fashion and models? Is like do you have like the full range of photography options?
It's mixed. It's mixed. I mean, it's a lot of fashion, but it's very mixed. It's
Really?
very mixed when it comes to photography, down to beauty shots, because there's a lot of people that's trying to create lines down here. It's a lot of businesses
Oh.
down here, so it's just a lot of mixtures.
Nice. So when I go to your Instagram, I'm like humbled because I'm like, wow, look at all these like amazing models who you're shooting. Let me ask you this. Are these sort of like real people just or are these all models? Like are these people just like doing
Oh,
glam
oh,
shots for like their
yeah,
husbands
it's a
and, friends or are these all people like professionals?
oh, this is a mixture. It's a very mixture because I have some people that I collab with on a regular. Then I have clients that just book me and they look good and they come the pictures come out well, so I just decided to post it on my page.
Wow.
Some are family. Um, I barely shoot my friends like that, but some of them probably are my friends.
You know what's interesting? So I'm like obviously completely out of that scene. When I was coming up, I used to do modeling from textbooks. So they would take pictures and then it would go into like these textbooks in Boston, and that was like for me very exciting. This was way before social media or any of that. Now I hear that the industry has changed so much that a lot of the work that you're doing is actually for people's Instagram profiles and for their feeds. Like it's not even, for a textbook or for print. Is that right? Like, has there been a shift where social media is kind of like the channel that a lot of people are putting their pictures through?
Yes, and that's very true because like the most clients that I get, they be asking me like, do people just come to take random pictures? I was like, yeah, all the time. They don't even know why they want it. They just want to post it to Instagram to get some likes,
Wow.
get
That's
some
awesome.
likes. Shares.
You see how the industry changes? You like, wait a minute, and it's a whole new world.
Yes, yes.
So let me ask you this, because this is something that I asked all the photographers that the Pocket Suite supports is do you have an influx of like amateur photographers who are like make it difficult for you as a professional in the industry because a lot of people sometimes don't know the difference between an amateur photographer, the work they do, and what a professional like you might do? Does that like create problems like in terms of educating clients about the differences?
Yes, it does. Because it causes when it comes to the service there itself and the price of the service,
Yeah.
that they become like they're so used to amateurs giving them a low price of what it should actually cost.
Right.
When they come to me and I give them the real price, they're like, "Whoa!" But I'm like, you know how much goes into this work,
Right.
and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that time and time again that the industry has changed. It's like great to have things like filters and all of these things, but then they sort of confuse clients in terms of where the value is created.
Yes, very true.
Interesting. So, as you think about sort of the production that has to happen to really get that shot off, how
Yes.
many people are involved? I mean, is there like makeup artists, lighting folks? Like, how does like what's that production like?
Okay, so when it comes to production and such what you're asking, it really depends because it it depends on the pricing of what they wanted.
Yeah.
Because I have people that I go to for MUA and people that I go to for lighting, but when I bring them on, the cost of the photo shoot will have to be higher because
Right.
it's more people.
Right.
so so most of the time I have a assistant that helps me out. That's most of the person that's with me. So for me right now it's a two-man army.
Wow. So, but you do sometimes coordinate like a broader shoot where you have lighting, makeup, what have you, all together.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Um,
That's only when the man shoots.
Interesting. So, are you like as you think about the sort of work that you do, is it mostly like is your client mostly the individual or is it like businesses that are like, hey, we're doing 5 commercial or agencies, I should ask, like, hey, we're doing 10 commercials. We need you to shoot these 10 different commercials for a variety of different products or brands.
Okay, so when I started off with my family, like I told you. So most of my things are word to mouth. So I barely mess with agencies when it comes to that level.
Okay.
Agents have reached out to me, but what they ask for me to do is not what I'm looking for.
Oh,
I rather
interesting.
be a solo brand. They want you to basically solely only shoot their models,
Ah.
become a part of their corporation, and I'm not ready for
Interesting.
that.
Now, why is that? Like, why do agencies need exclusivity? Why can't they just work with you for like on like on a case by case basis?
I don't know if they feel comfortable with you just being in home when they need you. So
Right.
they have a function of different models coming in. So I don't know if they want you to be busy on their time schedule,
Right.
but most of the time that's what it is.
Interesting.
They said they need you on call, basically on call at any moment.
So, what advice would you give folks who like are looking at your life like, "Oh my gosh, you're living the dream." Like, what advice would you give them if they're looking to follow your path? Like, what are the top 3 things you did in your mind that really sealed the deal in terms of getting you to where you are today?
Number one, passion.
Passion.
Yeah, passion. The reason why I say that because when I started, like I was not too into it at first, but once I started to love it, my drive turned differently. So my drive to go and get clients was different. So my chase for it was very strong. Number two, learn a lot about your camera, learn settings, watch a lot of YouTube. I watch
Oh, YouTube.
endless hours of YouTube, hours of YouTube. And three, marketing, marketing.
Say a
That's why I
little
love.
bit more about learn and marketing. I get the passion. You can't fake the passion. You either have it or you don't. But on the learn front, is it mostly just kind of passive learning? You're watching YouTube and then hopefully an opportunity comes up someday to apply that learning, or are you actually like while you're watching, you're testing it, you're doing it,
Oh
trying
no,
to
no. As you're going, you have. That's why you have friends.
right.
You don't have to post the photos. I have many photos that I've taken that I have never posted, but it was just a learning process. I wanted to get better, so I got my friends around and I tried different lighting techniques, different guys, girls, families,
Right.
babies. I tried everything.
Wow. That's amazing. And then marketing. Is it like mostly social media marketing where you're posting your best photos, or how do you market? What's your secret?
When I first started, it was like basically only Facebook and Twitter. So I was doing a lot of word of mouth. I was printing out
Oh
flyers,
wow.
going into the local laundry mats, the local nail salons, and just putting my flyers out like that. And then when social media, Instagram became bigger, I started to promote more on there. And then I realized that I had more fluctuating of different clients coming in.
You know what's so funny? Some of the most successful professionals, particularly as it relates to beauty, media, entertainment, when we ask them how they got their start, they always say like flyers and business cards. I hit the streets and I handed things out to people. And it's just counterintuitive in this day and age when people think like all you have to do is do Google marketing or Facebook or whatever. Like people hitting the streets is not what you typically hear and what you expect when you're just starting out.
That's true. But I realize it's like going to the person better is like they get to meet you and kind of see the person you are. And that's what made them come to me. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not even about your photos. I see the clients have fun with you also. So I'm like, oh, okay, great.
But when you're handing these things out or like putting it on, I heard someone say, hey, I went to Walmart parking lot and I would just put it on like the windshield wipers and what have you. Like the people that end up calling you, are these people who are like, yeah, I was just about to hire someone. Thanks for passing this out. Or are these people who like you gave them the idea? It's like, oh, I never thought of hiring a photographer, but seems interesting. Let me call you and find out more.
I say 75% of I was not thinking about it. 25% I was already thinking of somebody, and you just seeing the
Wow.
flyer. Yeah, so
Wow. So
75%.
interesting. So
Yeah.
now that you're like superstar, like super big, you don't hit the streets anymore. Like you're doing
No,
it.
no, no, so, social media has really been working for me in that fashion. So I haven't hit the streets in a long time. I may
Are,
need to though. I won't cut it out, but I maybe need to. But
not
I've been
right.
good.
Not you, maybe team members. Okay. So, all right, now I'm wearing my client hat. Okay. So my family, we hire a photographer every year for the holiday cards. And every year I'm always shocked. It feels a little expensive to me, and I'm like, all right, it's all good. This is beautiful. This is art, right? This is memories. So we pay
Yeah,
it, and then we finish the shoot, and then we get the invoice, and then it's like, but to get the pictures, it's an extra, X, Y, and Z. And so I don't know when this happened, when the service of taking the pictures is sort of separate from like actually buying the prints themselves. So as you think about the print business, do
yes.
you usually work with like another platform that just like does like an on-demand printing, or do you have a whole operation around printing too?
I outsource. I
Okay.
use another app for that. So
Okay.
when I now my gallery it comes with a printing shop already with the website.
Okay.
So when they get through there, they basically give me a percentage of what they cost.
Got it. Okay, so two questions for you on that. One is, what advice do you give folks who are kind of like, I want them all, but like, I probably can't pay for all the prints? Like, what advice do you give to folks like when they're thinking about ordering? Is it like just order the one or two you love for your holiday cards and then you can order more later when you like really have a need? Or do you advise people to like get certain packages of prints?
I advise them to get packages at first, but I always tell them like more like because some people don't really need as much photos as they say they do.
Right.
They People want big prints or something to give to their family members. So I told them whatever fits you, go with that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause prints can get it very
They
expensive.
can get expensive. They can get expensive. So the second question is just wearing your business hat. When you think about like revenue models, like what percentage of the revenue model is your print business? Is that just kind of an afterthought? Like that's not really where you're generating your revenues, or is that like an annuity? Like, hey, over time, people buy prints
I
and
I just got into printing.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, best
Okay.
believe I'll be I want to say probably half a year now, probably
Okay.
like 6 months. I just started getting into printing more, but because I was so into the service itself
Yeah.
and trying to get out the work that I was
Yeah.
never really thinking about printing. And then I didn't really see people needing printing once they was posting so much to social media.
Right.
So I didn't think
You
that
didn't
to
go
make
there.
that about
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so two more questions for you. One is why, like, when I look at your Instagram, the vast majority of the pictures are like beauty, sort of the beauty industry. I know there's so many other niches. Did you think about any other niches like real estate or what have you? Like, or did sort of beauty come to you, or did you go to it?
No, beauty came to me. But let me tell you how this works. So Instagram is like the the beauty world, I
Yeah,
guess. They kind of
yeah,
fabricate everything. So That's where I promote that. But
Oh.
Facebook, all the other platforms is where I promote more of the family, the real
Oh,
estate. I do
interesting.
all those. Yeah, I still do weddings and
I
all that,
see.
but Instagram, I realized once my it shows that once I promote that type of beauty, that I get more likes and I get more people to come to
Right.
my page.
I see. Really smart. So that's another marketing tip, which is like
Yeah.
make sure you understand like which images to post your like which images to like focus on by channel.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So
Very.
what can we expect looking forward? What can we expect from you? What's the next big thing that you're thinking about for your business?
Next big thing is to basically, because I right now I rent a studio. So
Okay.
as the bookings come in, I rent studio
Right.
hourly. But I'm looking to build my own studio and get more photographers into my company, so they'll be
Wow.
working under, and I'll
Wow.
be teaching people. So I'll be having classes. Yes, yes, yes,
That's
yes. I'm ready to
awesome.
start on giving my little talents.
That's awesome. So proud. So proud. Awesome. Well, we are super excited to support you. So give us the rundown on how you found out about Pocket Suite and what your experience has been.
Okay, I learned from Pocket Suite from two photographers down here. It's Sway Productions
Yeah.
and Royal Eyes.
Nice.
Yes, yes. So
Nice.
those two people, I seen using it multiple times. I done booked through them through the app.
Right.
So I was just like, dang, the app's so smooth. I was like, and I asked Roy Eyes like, what is that? And he told me about Pocket Street. I'm like, okay, so let me go download it. And then I remember y'all had like a free trial or something for the
Yeah.
first month.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And then I love this. So I was like, oh yeah, I stick with it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, and
Well,
shout out for opening up the desktop one too.
desktop, we're almost fully there. Give us a month or so and your experience on desktop will be the exact experience you have on your phone. So, we're rolling
I'm gonna
out
love it.
features every week. So, keep an eye out.
I will trust.
Thank you so much for talking to us today, Jude. We are like super proud and want to support you as you grow. So let us know whatever you need. We're on it and we're going to promote you across all of our channels.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.